So, guys, finally, their Papa group has come out to tell everybody the cause of their grievances, as in what has made them to plan against Peter Obi and against the Labour Party. It is now obvious that it's not even the forgery of a thing that is the issue. So, guys, you are going to love this video because you are going to understand that, oh my God, that it was just minor issues that would have been resolved so amicably that has been causing all this problem. And these people have been going to television houses and telling the world that there is problem in the Labour Party. But we all know Mr. Peter Obi said there is no problem in the Labour Party. And it is obvious that there is no problem in the Labour Party. So guys, just take a look at this.
The problem was because they were trying even ab initio to southernize Labour Party. In the PCC that we formed, where did the DG come from? The South? The deputy or Seluka from the Anambra? The Secretary General from Anambra? Who does that? How many times has Tanko represented Peter Obi? They know the people they call. These are some of the things that we, the original Labour Party owner, we will not sit down to condone. Now, in their speech, which we have the video, let me tell you what they said. And yet they are in tribunal.
Hello, fellow Nigerians. I hope you all are doing well. So, guys, you can see that they are angry that the Labour Party is becoming a southern party. Just like what happened in the PDP. We all know how Wike was fighting that the PDP is a northern party because they have the chairman, they have the deputy chairman, they have the presidential candidate. All of them are from the north. And, you know, Wike was crying foul. You know, that is the same thing this man is trying to say. He's saying that them that own the Labour Party, they are being sidelined. The Labour Party is now being headed and managed by people that just came in recently. And it is becoming a southern party as if it's Abga.
In Asaba, everybody they remove, they put Igbo people there. It's our party member, only Imo and Anambra people.
Own the Labour Party, they are being sidelined. Then people that just came in with Peter Obi and people that just came in recently are now the one posing to be owners of the Labour Party. So guys, this is just their grievances. And for me, honestly, this is no problem. This is no problem. We all know who Mr. Peter Obi is. We all know that during the campaign, Mr. Peter Obi had a very hectic campaign. And maybe after the election, he decided to let him rest. So if these people have had these grievances, nothing in their hearts, why not call a meeting? Why not call the attention of Mr. Peter Obi? Why not call the people and discuss it? So guys, there is no home. There is even no company that does not have crisis. There is always crisis, but the way you manage your crisis determines whether people will know if you have crisis or not. So guys, for me, this is no issue. He's saying that most of the positions are going to the people from the south and possibly from the southeast, as in from Anambra State. Just listen to this.
Let's begin with you, because you held that NEC meeting against the background of the NWC, loyal to Comrade Abure, saying that it is illegal, it is unconstitutional, and all of that. But just briefly tell us what came out of that NEC, and just how, will I say, justiciable is it?
Well, thank you very much. On the 5th of April, the Abuja FCTI Court gave the following that another of interim injunction is granted, restraining first to 4 defendants. That is Julius Abure, Farouk, Umar, Oluchi Okwara, and Clement Ojuku. Their agents, previous, servant, employee, and representative, whatsoever and howsoever described from parading themselves as the national chairman, national secretary, national treasurer, and national organizing secretary of the 5th defender, which is Labour Party, pending determination of motion of notice. That was the order of Abuja. Now, in Benin, Abure ran to court, and around 6 p.m. that day, this is the enrollment of order granted by the respected judge. Upon motion is filed by the claimant applicant, the Honorable Court, too, granted an order of interim injunction restraining first second defendant, which is the World Chairman and World Secretary of Oromi Ward, Ward 3, from submitting or transmitting the purported notice of suspension signed by the Ward 3 executive of Labour Party. 2, another defendant judge restraining the third defendant, which is Labour Party in his own case, from acting or executing and implementing the purported notice of suspension. Now, this is where we are going to distinguish the two.
Mr. Arabambi, I just want you to go straight to just some of those resolutions and how justiciable they are, essentially.
Yeah, the justifiable fact is what I'm bringing out. Now, the law is settled that where an order is made, you must comply with the order of the court, pending the discharge or overturn of the same. The court, in several cases, have decided, one, in the case of Nigerian Army versus Mowari in 1994, part 235, page 235, volume 345, that no distinction exists between interlocutory or final order of duty to obey, comply with such order while it subsists. An order once issued by a court with requisite jurisdiction and competence must be obeyed by a party, even if in his opinion the order was perverse. Now, when you have an order that restrains you from functioning in an office, Abure proceeded to Asaba against court order on the 18th to go and make certain proclamation. And we know as a fact that Labour Party is law abiding, and that is why whatever they have done there is null and void, because that order has not been vacated. But the order in Benin said NWC should not receive the notice of of suspension. That was on the 5th. Something that had been submitted, that was done on the 30th, that was submitted to NWC on the 2nd. So what he did in Edo was to suppress facts before the judge that, they have not done that. And the judge, in the opinion, has accepted that Abure have been suspended because the order was the NWC must not accept the transmission. Now,
just a moment, Mr. Arabambi, you have laid the background. It's only fair to allow Mr. Yunusa Tanko comment, specifically on those court cases you mentioned and the chairman, Mr. Julius Abure's position right now. So, Mr. Yunusa Tanko, it's over to you now. Your response.
Well, thank you very much. I want to say, ab initio, that this particular issue has no local standing right from the beginning. Because this particular individual have had issues with the party, and individuals like my dear comrade there, Arabambi, has already been suspended from the party. And already him and comrade Anselm, who are both part of the leadership of those particular group, already do not have any particular legal backing. So you cannot put something on nothing. And with regard to the issue of going to court, the two jurisdictions, the two court cases were very much in consonant with each other. And then at the same time, Julius Abure obeyed the positions of the court. He went to the police station, make his positions known, and wrote a document is actually exonerating himself from the issue of forgery and making sure that there is no legal issue denying him of presenting himself as the chairman of the Labour Party. What took place in Asaba was very, very clear, and the decisions of the party was also very, very clear. This particular individual cannot continue to present themselves as leaders of the party because they have no local standing. Article 17 of the party is clearly stated that for a chairman of the party to be removed from office, there must be a national convention specifically called for that particular purpose. That was not ahead too. So in the beginning, they did not even form a quorum, not even to meet the threshold of the leadership of the party. So their own position is actually null and void. And that is the reason why the position in Asaba was very clear, giving Abure 1 more year to conduct a national convention, making sure that his status as a chairman of the party remains. And if you read very clearly, if you watch that particular position very clearly, these positions were read by Comrade Ilya, who actually make those particular statements. I decided to call Comrade Arabambi as a comrade because I thought they were people that believe in the cause of the party. But for them to have gone to this particular level, it shows that they are not really interested in building a party. And that, of course, is inimical and injurious to the survival of the party and its general. So, and that way, these issues have been dealt because they've gone very far beyond the thresholds of a normal people who believe in the system. So we are disappointed that they could go this particular because there are mechanisms to be dealt with within the thresholds of the party that will have dealt with these matters that they are raising. And I want to state clearly here that Abure has not conducted himself in any manner to be thought to have done any forgery, because the person in question in the first place signed a form. That form was presented to INEC, and that particular INEC form would make him to become a candidate. Later on, the withdrawal was the same signature, and so if he claims that he himself did not sign in the first place, that means he is not a candidate ab initio. So it's very, very clear. So I think what Nigerian people should wait for, which we do not want to really delve in, because what they are doing is more or less causing a distraction, because we really want to focus on our case in the court. What we have decided to do was to ignore any part of this particular, distraction that they are trying to cause into the system, and
Mr. Tanko,
let everybody wait.
So let's,
on the 12th of May, the substance of the case will be dealt with in the court, and that will have killed the matter once and for all. So we will not face this particular issue of diversionary measure in trying to get the Nigerian people out of the way. Even if they are being paid to do so, I think they should forget about it, because it's not going to hold water.
Well, just before Mr. Arabambi comes in quickly, just to be clear, so are you saying that the order from the Abuja High Court is not being obeyed, and Comrade Abure still remains the chairman of the party?
We obey the competent jurisdiction of the court. There are two court cases here, and we alluded to two of them, and we alluded to the same part. And I think that particular judgment in the case of Abuja, I want to believe was made in error, because the expertise orders mostly are made in defense of the persons in office. It's not to cause mayhem within the system. If you look at the way it's been coined, it's coined in such a way that the 7 days supposed to have expired, but that 7 days will say until the substances matter has been dealt with. If you look at the records of most of the judgment that have been given expertise order, there's nothing that looks similar to that. But then we will give so much respect to our court case, and then our judges, but we will wait. And because we actually have asked for a kind of expertise motion to be on those particular cases. In fact, the case will have been dealt with since on the 5th of May, but it has been adjourned to the 12th of May. So I think Nigerians should wait for the 12th of May, and I think that will have been bye-bye to this particular distraction that they are trying to cause to our court case, and then trying to deny Peter Obi of a global case that he has in the court.
Well, Mr. Arabambi, I mean, he's described this as a distraction, and he's talked about that forgery and perjury issue, which is at the heart of all of these litigations. And I wonder what your response is to that.
Well, thank you very much. See, the bunch of people with Abure are people, that we thought they came to the Labour Party with genuine intentions. The comrade seated there knows fully well that his position will recognize now because of what is happening. We are members of the same political party. What causes the problem was because they were trying, even ab initio, to southernize Labour Party. In the PCC that we formed, where did the DG come from? The South? The deputy or Seluka from the Anambra? The Secretary General from Anambra? Who does that? How many times has Tanko represented Peter Obi? They know the people they call. These are some of the things that we, the original Labour Party owner, we will not sit down to condone. Now, in their speech, which we have the video, let me tell you what they said. And they are in tribunal. They said, this is unfortunate because if it were not for the expertise order of the FCTI court, mischievously granted and sustained by Justice Amsa Muazu, which dangerously exposes the rest. That is where this is the party that is facing the party to danger. Abure was seated there and he called himself a lawyer. where a judge was being criticized that he mischievously, how was the judge mischievous? That the Minister Ezeoko was substituted with architect Ukeagu, the owner of Barcelona. We went to police station. Ukeagu wrote a statement that is with the police that he gave 200 million naira to Olusegun. Is in the statement. And only two of them have gone to police to make statement. But why has Abure not been able to come out? Was that person not substituted? Now, if Comrade Tanko is telling me they obey court order, do you know, Kayode, that immediately after we discover, we went to federal court, we won. Who appealed the judgment? Abure appealed against that judgment. Definitely, he knew what he was doing. We won at the court of appeal. Abure appealed to Supreme Court. We won in the Supreme Court. Do you know what happened 3 days after? Peter Obi himself went on a sister television, arrived to say we don't have candidates in Ebonyi. After Supreme Court judgment, and yet we call ourselves a nationalist party. We are not anybody that any people will come from PDP and think we can be overrun. We have learned our lesson over time. Abure has been restrained, and thank God Corporate said they are coming to court on the 12th. What are you coming to defend when you are already in contempt of the court? Why this matter last year, Abure wrote a letter to INEC, which we have copied. Abure wrote 2 letters to INEC, one in case of Lagos, one in case of Rivers State. For God's sake, is it how we want to run our country? Well, when somebody come, we back it to corridor, we say, oh, we admit you, go and see no more. That was not what Labour Party is all about.
Okay.
You have seen what they did in Asaba. Everybody they remove, they put Igbo people there. It's our party member for only Imo and Anambra people. That was not what we what we want. That's why PO himself, unfortunately, said he doesn't know Apapa. But let me tell you, Apapa was the person that did the opening prayer. I have a candidate, a president candidate in that Asaba when we elected him. I asked the guy to step down. The video are there. They said they don't know us. Does that mean it's our candidate? It's an insult for a man who just spent 12 months in a party to say you don't know such another statement, because himself and Abure, they have soiled their hand. A lot is going to come out. We have a lot of our money between them that they didn't release for the election.
How much is that? How much are you referring to, Comrade Arabambi? Just how much?
PO is standing with Abure because they have a lot of things in common.
All right, let's get Mr. Tanko Yunusa to respond to this, particularly the question about respect of courts, the judges, especially because there's a case now in Tribunal. How do you respond to that?
And we only want to believe that that particular judgment was made in error, and I've stated it. So in answer of respecting the court order, Abure respected the court order by making sure that he vacated the court case in Benin, and then he emerges as the chairman of the party and is continues in the position. In the case of the Abuja case, he has made it very clear he has gone to the court to challenge this particular position, and have asked for an expert motion to be granted on this particular matter, and which he obeyed. So what is wrong with that? He has not in any way flouted the court order in any way whatsoever. So in that case, for those who are trying to cause these distractions, Arabambi should be very mindful of the fact that if he believes that he was doing whatever they are doing in the interest of the party, you wouldn't have come out to accuse the party that all of you have also, one way or the other, claimed to your highest position in life. You couldn't have done that. But then here you are. Of course, probably you may have your reasons for doing what you are doing. But then for us in the Labour Party, we will be ready to forgive anybody who is trying to, but we are going to focus on our court case. And that, I think, should be the matter in this particular discussion. Because on May 10th, the case of Peter Obi and the so-called president-elect will be dealt with. And we are saying that the court have the right to have dealt with this matter according to Section 285 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. To deal with this particular matter, you have the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gives them 180 days. And 180 days does not mean that you must exhaust those 180 days. You have within 90 days to deal with this matter so that the leadership of whoever is taking over leadership of this country will not have issue of litigation hanging. And then the Nigerian people will be satisfied that the system is cleaned. And then a lot of people are claiming that we should have had an interim government. Section 146, subsection 2 of the Constitution made it very clear. In the case where there's a vacuum in the presidency and the vice president, the Senate president take over. And in this case, if the president,
Mr. Yunus Tanko, as you quoted Section 285 of the Constitution, it gives 180 days. And in fact, when former Governor Peter Obi, when he won that case against former Governor Ngige, it was almost 3 years, and he eventually won. So, and I know that the NEC, which held in Bauchi, releases in that statement that they will not be a party to any unlawful acts to cause a change of democratic administration violently, as anticipated by Barrister Julius Abure. So quickly, Mr. Arababi, do you agree with his submission?
Where the crux of the matter is, Kaide. That is where the crux of the matter is.
So, Comrade Arababi, do you agree with Mr. Yunus Tanko's submission?
That they are trying to just cause a mayhem within the system.
Totally.
They are following laws. They say we should go. We say we should go to court. We are already going to court.
There must not be any attempt by anybody. There must be any attempt by anybody to cause a consultative government because we lose an election.
Well,
I am going to put a lot of question to him.
Right. But gentlemen, we have to run now.
Ask them why PDP was excluded.
What did you say?
Ask them why PDP was excluded from that petition.
Okay, well, we have to run now, and I think that we can pick up this conversation on another day. We're totally out of time, gentlemen. But you know what? We hope to continue this because major issues have been raised, and I think the coming days will give us that time. But we'd like to thank you so much, Comrade Yomi Arabambi, who's the National Publicity Secretary of Labour Party, and Mr. Yunus Tanko, the Chief Spokesperson of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council. Thank you so much for your time.
So guys, you can see that for me, this is not an issue. Honestly, for me, this is not an issue. This is something that the Labour Party can come together and settle it and everybody becomes happy. How can we build a new Nigeria with a divided house? And you know, these people just came up all of a sudden that Mr. Abure forged and that the lawyer said and that the police said and all that. Why go this far if you just know that your problem is just that you are being sidelined? Why go this far? Why castigate people? Why ruin people's image publicly on a national television? You come out, you say all sorts of things, you know, against somebody because you want to protect your own interests. So guys, it's not supposed to be. I just want to use this opportunity to call on the Labour Party management. If this is the actual situation of things, please, they should come together and resolve it. Every region should be carried along. Me, I believe in a united Nigeria. I believe in a united Nigeria. All of us should feel belong. Whether as Nigerians or whether as, you know, party members, we should all feel belonged. Everybody should be carried along. That is my own side. I just hope that the Labour Party will get this message clear and they will call for a meeting, come together and resolve all these issues so that we can retake, you know, our position as the best party in Nigeria so that we can build a new Nigeria. We all know that a new Nigeria is possible. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.